Happy holidays, everybody. It is December 24th. I am here in my office working. I did some last minute Christmas shopping. So I'm really excited for this holiday. It's definitely one of my favorite holidays throughout the season. It's been changing for me a lot. More of a giving holiday versus a receiving holiday. More of sentimental presents versus just buying the most expensive things you can buy. So I'm pretty happy it's here. With Christmas, everybody it almost feels like everything changes when Christmas comes around. You see a lot more smiles. People are a lot more happier, more joyful. You see more people socialize more, say thank you, God bless you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. I have friends from all different religions, from Muslims to Jewish friends to Catholics to Christians. I mean, you name it. I have friends from all different sets of life. But one thing that brings us together is the holidays for sure. And the holidays of just giving, especially if you have things to give and you're able to give. I personally myself rather give than receive at this point when it comes to where I am in my life. I don't expect anything from anybody when it comes during the holidays. I love to see smiles on children's faces. I love to see smiles on my mom's face, on my family's faces, just because of what I'm able to do, what I've built over the years, and how I'm able to give back. I love to do that. One of my favorite things to do now is when I go to a restaurant on Christmas Eve. I love to surprise them with a nice big tip on lunch, for example, just to make their holidays a lot better because I know how hard it is when you're working a job as a server. I've never done that before, but I know it's really hard. I know some people do double shifts on Christmas Eve, and I thank you for that. I really do. Thank you to all the servers, all the bartenders, all the hospitality staff at the hotels that are working on Christmas Eve, and some of you are working on Christmas Day. Thank you so much. You guys do so much for us. So we definitely want to always give back to you and thank you. For working on these days. I have been traveling for about a week now. So it was crazy, 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 guys. So I'm gonna tell you what had happened. All my travels that have happened this week. So last Wednesday, I ended up flying out. I'm sorry, on Monday, I ended up flying out to Washington, D.C. For the Creative Nation tour with Pace Morby. And the reason I flew out there was because him and his team picked one of our properties in Columbia Heights. It's a neighborhood in Washington, D.C. We own a duplex there that used to be a six-bedroom, six-bathroom, and now we converted into a 10-bedroom, six-bathroom home, and it's a co-living property. This was my very first time I've seen this property, and we've had it for almost 1 year already, and I've never laid my eyes on it. So, as I always tell you guys, I joint venture. I don't do anything on my own, even if it's my deal. I always bring other people in, either as a private money partner or as an operator, or I give up equity so they can run the property. And I always bring in people with certain expertise and certain skills that I don't possess myself, because I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. And so I'm so grateful to Pace Morby because he chose our property over so many other properties in DC. Guys, I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I'm not even in DC, right? So for him to choose our property over everybody else's, I'm so humbled by that. It means so much to me because that man is like one of the, I mean, I call him. At this point, we're friends. At this point, we're friends. He was somebody I was looking up to, my mentor, and now we're on a first name basis. And it's crazy because a lot of men don't really say "I love you" to each other, and with Pace, he said "I love you" to me the very first time, like "I love you, bro," right? And I didn't know how to take that as a guy, just because yeah, obviously we're kind of tough on the outside and the feelings and everything else, but to be honest with you, it like meant it hit me like pretty hard, like wow, like somebody actually said I love you, bro, like because I don't get that a lot from a lot of people besides my brother and my family. So for him, he barely knows me. We live on the opposite sides of the country. For him to say, "Hey, I love you, bro," in person, and then through phone calls and everything else, it really hit me in a way that I guess has never hit me before. And so, thank you, Pace. I love you too, brother. I love you too. I love you everything. I love everything that you're doing. I love everything that you're putting together. I love what you're doing for the community. Your generosity, your genuinity. I love everything that you continue to do. You continue to pour your soul and your energy into people in the community, even outside the community. And while I was in DC, your entire team came by the property and we filmed it. I hope it turned out really well. Your team said that it was fun, that it was a cool looking house. So our house, we have a duplex, guys. We have two sides and we have a basement. So there's like three bedrooms on each of the duplexes, and there's also an additional four bedrooms downstairs. So we went ahead and converted into a 10 bedroom, six bathroom home. I had the pleasure of meeting some of my tenants, which was cool. So, one of my tenants is a software engineer. Another tenant works for the Department of Defense. He's a pretty funny guy. Crazy story. We actually ended up, our furnace ended up breaking like a few days before I was gonna go there and film. And so I'm like shaking, I'm like freaking out about this because I'm like, oh my God, Pace is gonna be there, and there's no furnace, there's no nothing. And so I posted on sub two, and all of a sudden I got all these responses from people giving me ideas, giving me referrals. So thank you so much to the sub two community. You guys are awesome. Whenever I need you guys, whenever I have a question, you guys are there. And listen, I am here as well. So if you have questions, if you're running into something, some kind of obstacle, some kind of challenges, I think I'm at least 100 deals by now. So if you guys need anything, I'm pretty experienced. So feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you guys out. You guys are always there for me to help me out as well. So thank you for that. So with the filming happened, we first filmed inside the house. I was kind of sitting on the table, and they were asking me questions about the property, how we found it, and how it all transpired. And we bought it with a Morby method, which meaning we bought it with zero money down, which is pretty crazy, right? And I'm actually about to buy my fourth property now with zero money down. It's called the Morby method. It's one of the most magical ways to purchase properties in creative finance. If you don't know what the Morby method is, I strongly suggest you start researching it, because it's it's a way to buy properties and scale your portfolio and your generational wealth for your family. So I would really encourage you guys, if you guys are listening right now, go to Pace Morby YouTube channel, type in Morby method, and it'll give you a really good explanation of what a Morby method is. Apparently, I'm becoming the Morby method guy. I don't know where this is coming from, but people are reaching out to me to do Morby methods. So if you guys want to joint venture with me, feel free. But going back to my story here. So unfortunately, Pace couldn't make it for the filming, but he brought his entire film crew to film it. Two awesome guys came out, and we filmed it. We were there for about 45 minutes filming. So we filmed the entire property. I think it's going to come out really good on Pace's YouTube channel or wherever he decides to post it. It doesn't really matter where he posts it. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be able to fly out there and go ahead and film at our property that we're so proud of right now, because it's providing shelter, it's providing housing for people. They need it. We need affordable housing in America, and we're charging about 275 a room in a very beautiful neighborhood. There's literally like $3 million homes being built across the street from us. There's a bunch of new development, and the area's been cleaned out and everything else. So it's just a fantastic property that I'm very proud of, and I'm very proud to be a co-owner of. And DC was pretty stressful for me. I'm not going to lie. I was always on the move. I had to work every single day. There was always so many emails coming through. And then we also had that Charlotte deal that was happening. It's also Morby method. Oh my God, what I had to go through there. It was just nonstop, back and forth. my stress levels at that point were so high that I was like, you know what, like sometimes like they're just my anxiety and my stress levels are so high that I just feel like, oh my God, like what am I doing? Like I just forget it, forget it. But then in the end, it works out, and it's so cliche to say, but if you don't give up, things tend to work out. Like the universe and God tend to reach in with their hand and help you. As long as you just don't give up, as long as you keep pushing forward, regardless of what they tell you, regardless of what um, they say that you can't do it, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know what? All of these decisions are based upon humans' emotions and feelings and what they have underneath. Whether you're doing a loan with a seller, with a bank, everything is doable. And that is what I'm starting to get back to myself is everything is doable. If one person says no, go knock on the next door and go knock on the third door or go talk to the third person, go talk to a manager, whatever you have to do, or talk to the seller, figure out a solution, get creative, right? And so I'm sitting in this hotel room and I'm doing all this by myself and I'm just trying to get this deal to work. And I'm getting these emails saying, we need this, we need that, this is wrong, this is wrong. Seller's not happy with how much they're getting back at closing. I'm like, what do you mean he's not happy with how much he's getting back at closing? This is what we agreed on, like I'm, but the thing is though, I keep my calm, like I keep my cool, I don't, I look at these emails and I try to decipher them like, okay, here's the email. How am I going to internalize this email? And how am I going to go ahead and figure out a solution? Because you cannot abruptly reply. Once you do that, you lose the game, right? It's kind of like making a first offer on the house. If you're the one making the first offer, you pretty much lose, right? You're not going to get the best deal. So try not to make the first offer. Same thing with the email, you want to read it once, twice, or three times because there might be like little things inside of that email that you have missed because I know a lot of people skim through emails, which is really bad. And I always talk to my team, don't skim through the email, don't skim through the documents, read everything. So long story short, I signed at my hotel room the Charlotte, North Carolina deal. We bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. And you thought that was it, right? No, 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 it wasn't it. Um, Missing, the documents were sent back. The seller didn't sign something because they didn't like something. So we had to make it. So the realtor had to talk to the seller. Luckily, it was a great realtor. He's also an investor. So he understands creative finance. He understands the process of what an investor has to do. But in the end, we closed on the deal. We own a property, zero money out of our pocket in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. There's a very small HOA, like $10 a month, but there's zero restrictions. So we're going to put an extra 3 bedrooms in there. We're going to make it a 7-3, and we're going to turn it into another co-living property. I'm super stoked for that. Super excited. I'm happy for myself. I'm happy for my partners. I want to thank everybody that's been a part of it. You know who you are. I cannot do this on my own. I will never do this on my own. I will always have a team behind me because the real estate is not a solo. It's not solo. It's a team sport. So if you're thinking you're going solo, God bless you. I really wish you the best because there's so many things that you should be delegating when it comes to real estate, and you should never take on things that you're not the best at, right? You always want to delegate those things because it's going to make your life easier and it's going to make overall your equity build, your building of your portfolio that much easier when you have the right partnerships. Now you have to make sure you have the right partnerships. So I did DC. I did the filming. I ended up going to the event in Washington DC where Pace was there, Jamil was there. Everybody was there from DC, from the DMV area. I met a lot of really cool people, and I got a shout out from Pace from stage that I guess I'm one of the leaders, which is pretty cool. I appreciate that so much. And then we did some calling with some leads. That was pretty fun. And then I ended up going back to my hotel room. The next day, I had a flight out to Orange County, California. So I flew out to OC. Unfortunately, there was nothing but stops, right? So I had a stop in Dallas, which was delayed. So I was in Dallas for about a couple of hours before I jumped on a plane to SNA Airport, which is Santa Ana in Orange County, California. I flew to OC. I got a hotel with a very good friend of mine. His name is Abdul Latif. If you guys don't know who he is one of the best of the best when it comes to for being a foreclosure expert and a flipper in the LA County area. I've done a deal with him. We made a lot of money together, and me and him we became very good friends, and we ended up getting a hotel together in Huntington Beach, California at the Hyatt. Shout out to the Hyatt. My God, what service that they gave us. Amazing. I cannot extend like how grateful I am for the service, for the hospitality. But shout out to the Marriott in Washington, D.C. Man, guys, you guys were amazing. The service there was so impeccable that I usually don't even like I don't go up to a manager say, hey, listen, like I've had a fantastic stay here. You guys have been like everything has been like almost perfect. But the Marriott in Washington, DC, where I stayed at, wow, like blew my mind. Like the service, the hospitality, the just overall the socializing with the staff, whatever you needed, everything was done. No, I mean, just complete. I mean, just nice all around. I mean, I can't explain it, but shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Hyatt in Huntington Beach, California. What a beautiful hotel. Everything was there. I woke up every morning stressed out, of course, because I had to work. A lot of work had to be done. And I ended up, I had a little routine that I was doing. I was going outside. I was going outside. I was getting myself a little Starbucks every single morning and an apple oats so I can start eating, which is really good for you, right? Like apple mixed with oats, overnight oats. It was fantastic. And I would walk towards across the bridge. There's a little bridge that goes past the highway, goes past PCH, and then there's like this little area where you can hang out in, and you look over the ocean. And so every single day I just went there, and I did my affirmations every morning around like 7 o'clock a.m. And it kind of sucked because I was like 2 hours behind from Central Time, so like people were really blowing up my phone, so there was not much relaxation there. And then of course I have Florida deals, so now I'm 3 hours behind. So if I ever end up living in California, it's gonna be pretty crazy because I'm literally gonna have to wake up like at 5 in the morning. God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. God bless you too, Mr. Green Viana. God bless you. God bless everybody that's on this live right now. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for following me. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. So moving on. So every single morning I have my little routine. I have my morning routine. I thank God. I thank everybody for my family for waking up, and I have my positive affirmations for the day. And so every single morning after I got my matcha latte, I drink matcha lattes. Yes, I used to drink coffee. However, coffee just gives me too much of an energetic boost. I'm kind of all over the place. It's too much for me, too much caffeine. So I end up drinking matcha lattes, and I mix it up with whole milk or almond milk, and it just kind of like gives me like the little energy, but also it balances me out. Plus, I used to have really bad acid reflux, which was really bad. And so I stopped drinking coffees, anything that was very acidic, and now I'm pretty much fine. So yeah, shout out to matcha lattes, because I used to drink a lot of coffee, but coffee was just making me too bouncy and too crazy. So like I can't drink that. So with my morning routine, we ended up working mostly throughout the day, and then I took care of some business. I went there to meet a private money lender. So one of my closers that works with me, his grandpa has some capital that wants to invest, and so I ended up meeting him and his grandpa in Santa Monica, California. and we talked some business. The man he's actually a retired pilot. He owns a bunch of properties in California as well, so he's very astute. He understands the types of deals that I do, and he's interested in becoming one of my private money lenders or one of my private money partners for my property. So I I literally flew out there to California to meet him in person because he said, "Hey, I'm the kind of guy, I'm the kind of handshake type of guy." So no, I'd even recommend any Zooms. I don't really recommend any phone calls. I'm like, you know what, Larry, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna fly out there and I'm gonna meet you in person. Pick a restaurant. Let's go. Let's go sit down. So we picked this beautiful place in Santa Monica. We sat down. We had some laughs. We had some good conversation. One of my closers' name is Gavin. He's only 18 years old, guys, and this guy already is like getting things under contract, speaking so eloquently, like just overall, just grasping everything so quickly and fast that I myself am amazed of how quickly this I wouldn't call, I mean, he's 18, so to me he's a kid, right? I'm almost 40. So but this guy is just amazing about like how fast and he's learning. The way he puts together emails, the way he speaks to realtors is just amazing. I cannot see, I can I'm very I cannot see how far this will take him, not only with me or just his journey in life in real estate, because he's learned so much in such a short amount of time. And so I met with this private, well, I met with this grandpa. We had a great conversation, and then Saturday I went to go see my brother, which is really cool. My brother lives in Coto de Casa. If you don't know where that is, it's by Mission Viejo. It's a city within a city, so it's really nice. And I ended up seeing my niece. I ended up seeing my nephew, my sister-in-law. They have a beautiful family. My brother is also the owner of a company called Mission Craft Cocktails. So if you guys are in Orange County, California, they're all over the place. They're in Vons, they're in Bevmo, they're in Costco, they're in Total Wine, they're in liquor stores. So if you like more upscale cocktails, they have them for you. They're fantastic. The margaritas, they have your jalapeno margarita, Cosmo, Mai Tais, old fashions, Manhattans, whatever you're looking for, they have them. So he started this company from zero with his partner, and they've built it within 5 years. It's just amazing to see. And so I visited him, and and we went ahead and we hung out, had a great time. We ended up going to Javier's in Newport Beach with him for his birthday. He just turned 35 years old, so we went to Javier's, very beautiful place overlooking the water as well. And we kind of just hung out there, reminisced about childhood, about life, about overall what's happening with our families, and our kids are growing. He has two kids. I have one kid. He has a boy and a girl. I have just a boy, but our boys are very similar in age. They're only about 5 months apart, which is really cool. And just overall, just loved seeing him. Because I barely get to see him. It's mostly just phone calls and FaceTime sometimes, right? So just kind of seeing him, being able to grab him, hold him, and tell him, "My brother, I love you. I love you," because he's my only brother, and he's my best friend. We're always there for each other, even though we fight. We're complete opposites when it comes to people, but we love each other, and we always come to. We have disagreements, but in the end, we're brothers, and we're going to be brothers for the rest of our lives. And so, I really love him. I respect him. I respect what he's doing. I respect his family. I love his kids, beautiful kids, and that was just fantastic. And how I ended my journey, right? How I ended my entire trip from DC to Dallas to California. So on Sunday was my final day, and I ended up meeting with one of my good friends. His name's Alex. Alex is a realtor and a wholesaler in Orange County, California as well. Funny how we met. We met on TikTok. Me and Alex met on TikTok. And you say, how did we meet on TikTok? Well, Alex, I started following Alex, And then he started seeing my creative stuff. And Alex is, when he wholesales, he mostly just does cash deals. He doesn't do anything creative really. And so he reached out to me, and we started talking, and we just clicked. Like, when you like just click with someone, like it's natural. Like you don't have to force anything. You don't have to force anybody to like you, or you don't, or you're just yourself. That's kind of how me and Alex are. Like we just clicked. Like we clicked. Like we automatically knew we were boys over the phone. I think on our first conversation, it just, the alignment was just there. Like when you align with somebody, when you align in a relationship, in a business relationship, you pretty much know uh, when that happens. And so me and Alex, we aligned very well. He drove out to Huntington Beach. We went out to Pacific Way to grab some coffee. The man is 6'5". He's a very tall, big man. Gentle giant. Very, very, very nice guy. And and we just grabbed some coffee. Went towards, started just chatting up about our business, about family, about life in general. Just had a great conversation. Like with Alex, is when I see him, it's like I saw him yesterday. We just basically take off where we did from last time. We see each other every single day. That's kind of the relationship I have with him. And same thing with Abdul Latif. It's like we see each other, but like it's just the conversation flows. We start making jokes, things like that. Which is cool when you have friends where you can do that with. And it's funny because like these people that I've met, they live thousands of miles away from me. They live thousands of miles away from me, and I'm over here in Chicago, Illinois. These guys live in California, and I have these good friends in California. It's just amazing how the universe works, right? And how I met them. It's just crazy. Um, and so yeah, we just ended up having a good time. Then we ended up having dinner, and Alex is doing great. He's doing other things now as well. He's incorporating another business that's actually very strategic. It's a strategic partnership with someone else, and so I'm so happy, so proud of him. He has a beautiful family. He's a father. He loves being a father, and I'm just so happy for him. God bless him and his family. And he ended up driving me back to my hotel after we had lunch at a nice place as well. And that was it. And that was my California, I guess, business slash leisure vacation type thing, right? So it was really nice. Now he's like, man, he's like, Mike, I wish you lived out here. I wish maybe one day you move out here. We'll have a good time. We'll live close to each other. Don't get me wrong, I love California. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite places. The people, the weather, the food, the atmosphere, the environment, being close to the water. I mean, everything. It's like a different vibe there. Like people are just so cool, down to earth. Um, and in Orange County, not so much LA. I mean, LA is cool too, but Orange County is where it's more like down to earth and everything. You got more of like a surfer vibe, more of like a chill vibe, which is what I really like. Because I'm like, as you know, I'm more of like a hoodie type of and jeans guy. So I'm very very simple dude. Nothing crazy. Um, and then I FaceTime my family as much as I possibly could because I miss them so much. Um, and I flew back on Monday. Flew back on Monday. Been working since. This year has been amazing. I cannot thank I cannot thank everybody that's been a part of my journey. I mean, and this year, I mean, I have scaled. Uh, I mean, we have scaled. I mean, we have really scaled from buying properties to partnerships to having private money lenders knocking on our doors, wanting to give us money for our projects. I mean, it's amazing. I've never seen this before. And I don't know if it's because of, you know, just me, showing, what we're doing and putting it out there. Or I know people are referring me to other people as well because whenever somebody lends me their money, they get paid back, within a very reasonable amount of time and with a very good return. And like, it's just crazy. People are just like, hey, I got a couple 100,000 here. I have 100,000 here. I want to invest with you. I see you're doing these flips. I see you're doing these projects. How can I buy a house with you? How can I buy a building with you? And I'm just like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And then like this podcast thing, like this podcast thing, has this been just more of like a, to be honest with you, it's been more of like a mental health type thing. I don't know why, but it's been helping me with my anxiety, just kind of talking to you guys about like what's going on in my life and what am I doing, and what's happening, and the things that are happening on a daily, or the problems that I'm having, the solutions I'm finding for them. We have one more deal to close. It's one in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This has been a hard one, guys. This has been a really hard one. I have been through the hoops on this one. I'm talking about, if this one gets closed, this is going to be one heck of a story. All of these deals are stories because I'm dealing with lenders and all different people, like 10 different people. But I'm starting to accept these challenges as blessings. I'm trying to rewire my mind a little bit. I really don't want to think of this as like, oh, God is throwing all this fire at me, for why are you doing this, but maybe he's just trying to make me a stronger person in life, throwing these challenges at me, seeing how I'm going to react, right? And I mean, it's hard. It is hard, hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is hard. Some of these deals that I do are extremely freaking hard. Okay, but I always find a way. I always find a way. I don't know how. I don't know how it happens, but I always tend to find a way. And so I became more spiritual lately. Um, I'm trying to relax more. Um, Definitely not take my foot off the gas pedal, but just enjoy the journey. I know a lot of guys that are much higher, and much higher and have more success. They always say, you know what, I wish I would have enjoyed the journey more. I wish I would have taken the wins and appreciated it more. I wish I had more gratitude. Like for example, we just got a $50,000 wire transferred into our account for one of our deals that we assigned that was the Morby method, and it's 50 grand. Like 50 grand, it's like somebody's salary, and for us it was just one deal. And so I don't want to feel like, I don't want to normalize it, because it's not normal. One of my friends, he's like, yeah, you should normalize it because you should manifest it, right? I'm like, I get it. I'm gonna manifest $1 million a month, but I have to be grateful when those wires hit, because it's me, it's luck, it's my team, it's everybody around me. Like, that's the reason why these things happen. And so I don't want to normalize it, because I've normalized it before, where I've gotten massive checks, then I became reckless with my money. And so I will never, every single wire that hits, whether it's 2,000, 50, 100 grand, I am going to be so grateful for that, and thank God that he blessed me with this opportunity, that I know that it's not normal for the average person. I know that the average person doesn't have $10,000 in their bank account, let alone $100,000 in their bank account, let alone have 6 months, in case they lose their job. They don't even have 6 months of reserves in their bank account. So for me, yes, I work hard. Yes, I do everything else, but is there luck involved in this too? Probably, but I think you make your own luck. Like for example, I travel, right? We got picked for the DC. Boom, I got myself the plane ticket and I was gone. Like, I was gone. I was scared. I was nervous about the filming. I was nervous. It was my first time in DC, but I went and I did it. I pick up the phone when people call. I I look at deals, I joint venture, I put in the work that needs to be put in order for me to be successful on a daily basis. I spend thousands of dollars on systems, and I spend thousands of dollars on employees, and team members, and we JV a lot. So there's just an insist trying to systematize everything, optimize our business on a daily basis. You know, we do so much, right? So we do get blessed, but once again, somebody could work as hard as me and not get as blessed as me, right? And I understand that, and so this is why I will never take anything. I will always be grateful for everything that I receive. Okay, I will never take anything for granted. Never, ever, ever. I will never, whether it comes to family, love, relationships, friendships, I will never take it for granted. Never. When I have something good, I will hold on to that so tight and I will not let that go. And I will make sure I will let that person know how much I appreciate them every single time. Because it is so hard to find good people, not only in business but in life, especially like when you're older and you're like reaching closer to 40. How hard is it to find good friends? It's extremely difficult to find good loyal friends that just want to be your friend just because they like you, or be your friend. It's funny, it's funny, I'm going to bring this up. A lot of my really good friends that I have first started off as business friends, right? Because we did business together. And then that business have evolved into a friendship. Not all, but a lot. A lot of my really good friends. And I actually think that's the best way to do it, because you really see the character of a person when you're doing business with them. And if their character or if who they are was a facade of when you met them, then they're not going to be a good friend. So, like for example, if let's say I do $100,000 deal, right? And and I'm doing it, and I'm doing it with a friend, and I'm doing it with somebody. I don't have a JV agreement, right, with them, and this person has, let's say I have a JV agreement with them. The wire goes into their account, right? I only have a JV agreement with them. Let's just say I never sent it into title. That's 100 grand in somebody's account, right? Let's say they never had that 100 grand in that account, right? So now they're like, now there's two things they can do. They can do the right thing and wire me the 50K, or they can look at it and say, oh my God, I have $100,000 in my account. This is life changing for me. I can literally, I know I have a GV agreement with this guy, but he never sent it into title. So, you know what I can do? I can possibly just, not send him the money, delay things. I can, tell him to sue me, whatever, right? So that's like the little devil talking to you, right? And then you have they have your angel side saying, okay, all right, even though there's no JV agreement, you guys agreed to this, you owe him 50K. So that's like a really good test with somebody, right? And if that person wires you the 50K without any agreements whatsoever, just on a handshake, you you stay close to that person, because that person will never screw you over. Will never screw you over money, never screw you over emotionally. That is a person you're gonna want. That is a person you're gonna want to keep in your life forever, because money changes people, especially when they don't have it and when they see that much in their account. It really changes people. And I want to kind of give a big shout out to my partner, Ephraim, because this man entrusted me with a lot, with a lot. He entrusted me with our first deal, which was $175,000 deal. $175,000. It was under my corporation's name. I don't even. I think we did have a JV agreement, but it was never sent into title. So the entire wire came to me, right? So think about this. There's $175,000 on the table here. and there's no really paperwork. Like, he just joined sub 2. It was his first deal, which is crazy, and it's 175K, right? And I get the wire for 175, right? And there's two things I can do, right? I can either send him his half, or I can say, you know what, there was all these expenses here, this and this, whatever, blah blah blah, or I can just not send it at all, right? So think about the trust. So I asked him, I'm like, Ephraim, I'm like, would you do this with anybody else? Because it's a lot of money. He's like, no. He's like, I wouldn't. He's like, the minute I started talking to you, I already knew who you were, the type of person you were. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So I ended up, of course, transferring him half of it, half of the entire profit, and then we ended up doing more deals together, and now we're in a partnership, and we're scaling our business. He handles the acquisition side. I handle the disposition side. I do a lot of the creative stuff. He does a lot of the foreclosure stuff, and we're building and growing the company. And so, which is really cool, which is really awesome. So I am very excited, and I'm very grateful and thankful for everything that God has brought me, everything that God has brought me in general. Just overall, it's been a crazy year, guys. It's been a crazy year. As I look back at it, man, I almost sometimes I'm surprised I'm not gray right now, because there's been a lot of crazy things, from disagreements to shouting matches to just anxiety, body anxiety, just overall this just crazy stuff. But you know what? It's Christmas. I'm gonna forget about everything right now, and I'm gonna just be in the moment for the next 2 days before I start work again on Friday. I'm gonna be in the moment. I'm gonna forgive everybody, because I some people try to screw me over this year, but luckily I don't get screwed over because I know how to protect myself. So if you're trying to screw me over, it's not gonna work out, buddy. Because I'm always protected with paperwork. So just remember that. Um, so I'm gonna forgive you all that try to do me wrong this year. I wanna forgive. I wanna ask God for forgiveness for all the sins I've committed this year. I want to I want to internalize peace right now. I want to just focus on family today, and I want to focus on myself, and I want to be present in the moment for Christmas Eve and for Christmas Day, because everything that happened this year, it's already in the past, and the future isn't here yet. So I'm going to be present today. And that's when tomorrow comes, the next day comes, I'll be present then. But what has already transpired in the past, that's already gone. So I'm gonna be present today. I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm able to talk to you. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that my family is healthy, that my beautiful son is healthy and is growing, and I love watching him smile and grow, and the conversations that we're having now, even though he's almost 5 years old. And I want to be present in the moment. I want to be in the moment, not on my phone, not watching TV, not not somewhere, daydreaming. I just want to be present in the moment today and tomorrow. And so, with that being said, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and just please take your loved ones today, hug them really tight, tell them you love them, because you never know when it's going to be the last time that you're going to do that. So, guys, my name's Creative Mike with a K, of course. If you guys are following me, thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you guys are getting value from my content, I really hope so. I really hope I'm putting out good value content for you. If you want to really learn this business and you want to apply to be part of our team, let me know. We do have certain things that we're implementing in 2026 where you'll be able to be a part of our team and joint venture with us in a little bit of a different way where you're more closer to us than if you were just kind of sending us a deal from afar. Let me know. We do have a program that we're going to be coming out with. It's going to be pretty cool. Pretty excited for that. But overall, just be present today. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the moments with your family, with your loved ones. Break bread today. If you pray. You know, I do believe there's a higher being above us. You know that is making sure that we're doing right. So just be a good person. It's very easy to be a good person, right? It's not hard. Just be a good person. There's no reason to be a bad person, to be an angry person, especially today or tomorrow. Try not to get fights with your family. I know there's going to be alcohol involved, and alcohol infuses fighting and yelling and screaming matches, especially when family's around. And trust me, I know that because I've been through that too. But just have a good time, enjoy yourself, be present in the moment, and as always, my name's Creative Mike, and stay creative, my friends. Love you all. God bless. Have a great one.